Good. Oh, dear Christ. Hold on. There we go. I'm sorry, everybody. Hello. I, This is normally not something that I do with Pro Wrestling Britannia, but the situation and circumstances have left me no other choice. For those of you who do not know who I am Christian Connors slash Christian Sano slash Levi Yeager. Bottom line is that I serve as Pro Wrestling Britannia's executive director. In other words, its owner. First, just so I can get like a little check here. Everyone who is here, can I get a rough feel on the audio? Like, are we cool on audio? Am I too quiet? Am I too loud? How's the audio faring? Audio is good. Thank you, Folo. So, where to begin? um, Last night, for those of you who are not aware, it was real late, about 9 o'clock. Adam White from IWF held a 7-minute stream, which I have here on screen for you all, behind the Britannia crest. The stream is now starting. I am going to play the stream in its entirety for you, and then I'll explain why we're here. So, first, I'm going to go ahead and turn it to Adam White from yesterday, so he can make the announcement to those of you who did not get a chance to catch it, and we will take it from there.
Alright, guys, straight up. Yo, is your boy Fast Friend 23, aka Danny P. Hampton, aka Adam White, Tiffany White on the weekends. But that isn't that. It's not what we're here to talk about. Straight out, I am. Is that my other red controller? Oh shoot! Wow, I've been looking for that. But anyways, straight out, guys. I'm tired of being tired. I'm tired of apologies because I've been apologizing to y'all way too much. I've been apologizing for a lot of stupidness that's beyond my control with work and with my gigs. And when I first started out this thing, it was really easy, bring weekly shows, bring stuff. I started to try and do things to try and make people want to stay, make people, be interested into the product. As you can see, Coup de Grace is right around the corner. And once again, I wasn't able to bring you Coup de Grace today because of issues outside of my circumstance. And I was kind of hoping, more people would have been here today to really listen to me talk about this. But y'all don't even know how much of y'all in this community really helped me out with a lot of different stuff. I'm not even gonna lie. But at the end of the days, I took a break, about a week, probably less days. I did really and truly take a break, and it was hella needed. But then I find myself quickly not having enough time to, do this stuff, if I make any sense. Shows to have the storylines that I really want to have going forward. Yeah. So I'm just trying to find the words in a sense. Um, and really and truly, I don't want IWF to go from having one show a week to having a show a month to doing again. So effective immediately, effective after number two, the Tribute to the Troops pay per view, ladies and gentlemen. I am over full control to Britannia Pro Wrestling to Chris Connors. I understand, dog. I understand. But yeah, I'm fully handing over control because guys, I can't do this anymore, and I'm really and truly tired of making excuses. Really and truly tired of saying I'm sorry, not able to not be able to get you some of you to do what y'all got. It really hurts me to say this one. You know what I'm saying? And if you can't understand me, sorry, but I kind of defaulted back to my regular accent. Um, for those who are new and over here, guys, appreciate you guys for giving me a chance. Appreciate you guys for giving me an opportunity. For those who keep on returning year from year. For those my partners, as in Britannia, as in a lot of the other bigger spectrum of the wrestling world, guys, I really do appreciate you all for coming through, for showing up to the shows. For man, that's a lot more people than I thought. For showing up to the shows, for buying through with me through thick and thin. I really do appreciate you guys, but it's 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 just not working out, guys. I'm gonna be really honest with you. It's really not working out. Um, so floor is open for anybody to sign with Britannia Wrestling or to not sign with Britannia Wrestling. I'm not going to force you guys to sign over, but I still would appreciate you guys if y'all kind of did in a sense. Not because of me, but because they do great stuff over there. They do great shit. Management team is on point. The streaming is on point. Honestly, I mean, they have so many plans, so many great ideas. I possibly just couldn't have the time to just keep pushing for. Um, so yeah, guys. So this is your boy Fast Frame 23. We got 3 more shows with me, and then that'll be it. That'll be history. Um, that's about it. And I figured that it might be a lot easier, a lot better if I came straight to you guys and this from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate every one of y'all. Peace out.
Alright, so I wanted to let that play and kind of let Adam, in his own words from yesterday, explain what's going on. I know that there were some people who were saying they were having issues with being able to get in and being able to view. So also, sorry, I have to make sure audio levels are sounding nice. Let me check one thing for my settings, everyone. I had some people reach out stating that they had issues with being able to get into the stream. I don't believe I have the 18 plus thing set, but let me double check. Moderation. Chat verification, follower verification. All of that is set to off. No. That's weird. I don't have that setting on. Yeah, I know, Nightmare. It's something that even really kind of caught me off guard. I'm not gonna lie. When the conversation first happened, it more so was shock value more than anything. But I wanted to be respectful of Adam's wishes and what he wanted to do. In doing so, I will put it this way. I don't think Adam I'll put it this way. So, Adam, originally, this announcement that he made last night was going to come out during Coup de Grace 3, during night one of Coup de Grace 3. However, as you heard him say, there was things that prevented Coup de Grace 3 from airing in its normal time slot and when he wanted to, and that created a unique situation to where it was just kind of decided to just announce it and get it out there, so that way things could begin the process that they need to happen in. So I'm not gonna lie to y'all, it's not easy for me to talk about. I honestly have been kind of coaching myself up for the past 2 days on what to say in this moment, what I wanted to convey, what things are important, what things aren't. But I kind of decided I'm going to throw the script out the window and just be real with y'all. First things first, I know that announcement's going to generate a lot of questions. I'm going to open up the floor for questions here in a moment, I promise. I do want to get a couple things out there onto the board that just kind of blanket term and may answer your questions. Feel free to ask them. I'll get to them as soon as I can see them. So first question that a lot of people are going to have, and I know I've already been asked at least once. Also, welcome in Jada Rose. I see you just snuck in. Also, Folo, thank you for being here. Also, in my left ear is the one who runs IWF Chaos, Mr. Popo. That's perfectly fine, Jada. If you have questions, feel free to message them to me directly, Christian Sano, on Discord, and I will get your questions in and asked and answered. So, after Adam's announcement, so first, Mr. Popo, say hello.
Hello there.
So, let's first get the elephant in the room addressed. That announcement, what does it mean for IWF? Jada has one question, and it is for both of us.
Okay then.
Shoot away. I honestly could use a beer right now. I'm not gonna lie.
I am right there with you. I'd take a fifth right now if I had it.
So, Popo, there was a request to turn you up. Your audio has been increased.
Alrighty, hopefully this works. How am I sounding now, little ones?
Chat, how is he sounding? Is he a little bit better? Is he Hershey squirts and liquid runs? Or is he sounding
No.
fabulous?
Sports was my.
Still sounds
talk
far
about him,
away.
though.
That I apologize. I have him fully cranked on the bar. I physically can't move him any further. So if he can move his mic closer, that would be great. Also, he is going through a storm, but he wanted to make sure he was here for the panel. So if he glitches out and goes weird like he is right now, I will give him a moment to reset, and then we'll let him ask and answer accordingly. So just bear with us. It's kind of an impromptu thing. So, for Jada Rose, the question that is to both of us is what's going to happen comes Coup de Grace 3, especially with them now changing their character. What is the plans and everything regarding that, and how is it going to impact them? Now, respectfully, Jada, I can understand the concern regarding that. However, I still want to do justice by Adam and what he has planned for Coup de Grace 3. So, I am going to get you a response privately on that question, just so that way you get your answer, but we still respect the product that hasn't been released. But it's a really good question. Really good question.
Sorry about that. I'm getting an important call from here. Sorry.
You're fine. I will drop you out for the second. Just let me know when you're back. So, Mr. Popo has gone. Are you back? Are you back, Popo?
Yeah.
Cool. Mr. Popo is back. So, first thing I want to touch on is what to expect moving forward. That's fair, Jada. I get it completely. Pretty much stating that just want to make sure that they're being used to their full potential is a issue that they have had elsewhere. I get that completely. So, first things first. What's going to happen with IWF? What is the plan? What is the future of IWF? First things first. With IWF, as we all are aware, as evident by the crest on the left side of your screen, I also run Pro Wrestling Britannia, which is a company of my own creation that I have been working on and trying to get running and getting it to be something unique, special for the community to enjoy. Now,
You're good.
what I'm going to rip the band-aid off. The plan currently is following Tribute to the Troops. The IWF server will be rebranded into a Pro Wrestling Britannia server, and everyone who is on the roster who wishes to join us in that transition is more than welcome to, as IWF joins Britannia under Britannia's name. Now, what does that mean for the champions? What does that mean for the roster? What does that mean for the storylines? What does that mean just all around? In terms of storylines and champions, I'm not going to lie to you. Me and my management staff have been racking our brains for the past, I'd say, week since we found out on what to do, how are we going to handle all of this, and not overwhelm ourselves. The plan is, let me get something together. Pro Wrestling Britannia will be adding 2 new championships to help with the influx of what we're anticipating everybody to be. One of these being a men's mid-card championship alongside a women's mid-card championship, respectively. Now, for the current champions of IWF, the current talked about plan is championship unification. I don't have everything finalized, so these are loose tentative plans, but this is what is currently being discussed. The plans are to have the IWF World Heavyweight Champion, whoever it may be, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Popo, would that still currently be Lee Killstar?
When it comes to the male sides, I would have to go and check the record books, but when it comes to the females, I could tell you the champions currently still standing as Internet Champion Liliana, and as of now, since Coup de Grace has not aired, and the title matches have not taken place, currently still World Champion would be Tiffany White.
Okay. So,
I'm about to check right quick for the men's side for you.
Cool.
Sorry for interrupting.
No, you're fine. I'm going to go ahead and just shift to the other side of the same topic. For the women, currently the world champion, as Popo stated, is Tiffany White. We would see a title unification between the IWF Women's World Championship and the Pro Wrestling Britannia Undisputed Women's World Championship under the name of Britannia's Undisputed Women's World Championship, where the championship in question has yet to be decided, as I know that's something I also need to speak with certain individuals on, as Millie Jordan is scheduled to face Marilyn Valentine at Genesis for Pro Wrestling Britannia to crown Britannia's Undisputed Women's Championship ahead of the merger. For the women, I know that certain individuals highly pushed for equal representation with the women at the time that Britannia was created, and I want to still honor my word at that time. So, Pro Wrestling Britannia will be adding the Pro Wrestling Britannia British Lineage Championship as a mid-card championship for the women's division, respectively. That title will go to whomever currently holds the IWF Women's Internet Championship. Now, all of these championship changes and unification matches will be set to take place after the airing of IWF Tribute to the Troops, which will be the last show under Adam White before everything fully switches.
Mr. Levi, I do have an update for you. That is correct. Still currently right now, Lee Killstar is still world champion.
Understood. So currently the docket would reflect that the current IWF Now, to answer your question, Jada, because of the time frame of when everything was recorded and how far Britannia right now is in its recording, or in its editing process, the match regarding Millie being included in that match for the Undisputed Women's World Championship of Pro Wrestling Britannia, that match I do not have the ability to go back, edit, or alter at the current moment. It is something I am going to circle back with you on before we are done here, so that way I can catch you up to speed on things and we can discuss and work something out in that regard, because I know you said you no longer have access to Millie because of everything that happened over the past week. So, regarding everything, with Pro Wrestling Britannia and its Undisputed World Champion, which is currently held by, for those who know, Seven Sins Maji Gang's First Division Captain Chifu Matsuno, will be set to take on whomever the IWF World Heavyweight Champion will be at the end of Tribute to the Troops under Adam White. the mid-card championships of IWF, which, correct me if I'm wrong, is the television and the open weight championships, correct?
Men's side, that is correct.
Cool.
Yes.
Those two championships are set to go into a unification triple threat with the current existing and, surprise now for my own roster, under Pro Wrestling Britannia, the Pro Wrestling Britannia British Heritage Championship, where the current champion is set to be crowned in a triple threat at Genesis for Pro Wrestling Britannia, where the winner of that triple threat will face the current standing open weight and television champions at an event to be determined down the line in a unification between those three championships. Now, I did also state that we will be unifying and adding new championships for Britannia to help with the influx. In paying homage to IWF and wanting to continue a memory of them, we decided to keep the Openweight Championship and redesign it under Pro Wrestling Britannia to help with that influx. So the secondary mid-card championship for the men will be the Pro Wrestling Britannia Openweight Championship, which will be unveiled as we get closer to the listed event for that unification. Which also, for the Pro Wrestling Britannia people who are here, that also does grant us, with IWF now joining us after Tribute to the Troops, it will form the creation of a tag team division for the men. And there is talks of one for the women as well, but that one is a little bit more loose in conversation than the men's is at the present moment, where the current standing IWF World Tag Team Champions will simply float over to be Pro Wrestling Britannia World Tag Team Champions after Tribute to the Troops from IWF. And then I feel like I'm forgetting one. No, that is all the titles. So I know that is a lot to kind of keep up with, but I wanted to get it out in the open and just kind of say it. Is there any questions when it comes to championships that anyone would have that they would like answered? Also, thank you, Folo, for introducing yourself. Although he is not verbally here with us, Folo is in the chat. He is one of Britannia's directors. He is the director of operations. Mr. Popo also serves under a separate name of James Anderson under Britannia, where he serves as the director of content and creative. And then we also have a director who is currently handling things. He is in the chat under Has Been Husband, going by the name of Jeremiah. He is the director.
He is here. He is just not hooked up on the mic.
Yeah, I'm aware. So he is the director of commerce and culture. So if I personally, under Levi Yeager, soon to be in the server, am not available, or under Christian Sano in the IWF one, and you have questions regarding the transition, feel free to reach out to any of us. We all share the same information, and if we don't know, or they don't know something, they'll be sure to ask me. Or you can reach out to me directly. I'm not a hard person to find if you have questions or concerns that you think of later on down the line. So, let's go ahead and move forward. As I see, we don't really have any questions for championships in that pertainment. And let's go ahead and look at the event schedule for what's coming up. So normally for these types of things, I have graphics made to showcase certain things, but unfortunately, like I said, it was a run-of-the-mill rush thing that I didn't get a chance to do. But what is down the pike? On the IWF side, you currently have Coup de Grace, Night 1 and 2. Thank you, Automod. Coup de Grace 3, Nights 1 and 2, which air dates are to be determined. And then you also have Tribute to the Troops, and then the Unification. On the Britannia side, we are planning to try, keyword try, and get Genesis out in time for next weekend. So that way we have our championship situation in order and we are prepared for what needs to come down the line. For those of you in Pro Wrestling Britannia, we do have a couple new things to showcase here today. These I did have ready. There have been Welcome in Trey. We do have replacing Explosion in the next calendar cycle will be a new brand titled Revolt, which will be home to our edited content. Also, I did see you lurking, but I wasn't sure if you were fully here. But nonetheless, welcome in, Trey. Well, Revolt will hold our edited bi-weekly shows. For the IWF folk, Britannia runs in a special system where one brand is live streamed just like we are here. The other is an edited product that goes up onto our YouTube channel that will be available for viewing. I absolutely adore this right here. Give me a moment, y'all. For my moderators, can somebody please time out that person? Thank you. So Revolt will be the edited content that we will see moving forward for Britannia instead of Explosion. And then the other brand is one that Britannia's current existing roster is familiar with, getting a fresh new coat of paint and the glory it deserves, is Renegades. Renegades is the bi-weekly show where it is live like we are right here in front of you all. So talent, I should address this, especially for the IWF people. Come the transition, all brands will be welcoming both men and women, not in a particular brand split style, but with how we operate in Britannia. All directors pretty much felt as if it would be best to give everyone an equal spotlight under each show. So we're going to try and balance our men and women matches. I know that's something that a lot of people highly see and sought after. But regarding particular roster things and things of that nature, I'm more than happy to address any questions regarding that. To address a concern that was brought to my attention through an anonymous tip, I hate bots. Gotta love it. So, to address, Mr. Popo, aka James Anderson, will still be in charge of women's division booking when the merger takes place. I know a lot of people in IWF are very much so enjoying what he's been doing. And the last thing I want to do is make a already intriguing transition have any additional complications. So he will stay. on as...
Yes, if I may.
Feel free.
Oh, sorry. Sorry to interrupt, but I was going to say, if I could go out and explain one extra thing to let people know, because it's probably going to be another question, even though we've covered it with Britannia side. For ongoing angles that are going on with any of the members of the Chaos roster, they still will be continuing. Even with the transition, we're still going to keep going with what we've already had planned and what we're going on with. So rest assured, if I have not gotten to you yet, I am still in the process of getting everybody. So, yeah, plans are still going to be the same. Nothing's changed there. So just wanted to throw that out there.
Cool. Also, this is actually a good segue, and thank you for bringing it up. Under the transition, we did revise and review our rules under Britannia to try and help accommodate for this change and try and kind of minimize the impact. I believe it's going to be something that a lot of people are actually going to be happy to see. On the screen is going to be the stat rules and regulations for Pro Wrestling Britannia as they currently stand, with the modifications and updates accordingly. For the Britannia roster, who is already signed, no action is needed from you on your part. This more so is for the IWF people who are here with us today. The overall in Pro Wrestling Britannia is a 92 overall. There are to be no maxed out stats, as the Britannia roster will vouch. We just had our first stats check, in which we did find violations, which are being worked on and resolved accordingly to keep everybody in regulation. For paybacks, banned paybacks are Soul Siphon, Power of the Punch, Paparazzi, Poison Mist within reason, and Low Blow within reason. Now, within reason means that you can ask regarding it. If it fits your character, it may be allowed. It is purely something that would just have to be talked over. Banned moves are the grand moves, so such as Grand Backhand, all of those except for Grand Hammer, which is pretty much just a double axe handle. Celtic War Sword and Divine Touch, are all currently on that banned list. And please, no full-on finisher movesets. Like, transitional things like the current IWF rule. Like, if you have a super kick or something like that, that's a transition move that sets up for something, that's fine. But I'm just saying, don't have everything in your moveset be an RKO, if you know what I mean. Call conduct rules. Pretty much just treat everybody with respect. We're all here to have a good time. No homophobia, racism, etc. In other words, don't be a dick. We all can understand and respect that, I hope. Britannia has a rule, especially now with the two rosters coming together. When a talent is booked, we do expect promos. That doesn't have to be verbal, it can be typed. It can be on Twitter, it can be in the server, I don't really care. As long as you're interacting, I'm fine. If you're not interacting, you're not doing any of these things, then we will stop booking you. Just to make it fair regarding and to everybody who is putting forth the effort. Jada has a question. Feel free to bring it forward. Also, while Jada is typing her question, the IWF server. So, with the IWF server, after Tribute to the Troops, it will go under construction, just to kind of streamline a couple things. But one of the things a lot of the directors / management of Britannia really wanted to have for you guys is a section where you guys can suggest storylines and ideas for yourself and other people. So there will be a channel where you can suggest that, and we'll review it, look into it, and if it's something that we want to use or we're able to and it makes sense, we'll use it and let you know that we're using that story. Just note we aren't able to use everything that gets suggested. So please just try and be understanding if it is something that just doesn't wind up getting used down the line. So, Jada raises a good question, stating that they have a full-time job about 2 months ago is when they started, meaning now they work about 45-ish hours a week and have at most 2 days off. If I'm not able to promo due to work scheduling complications, does that mean that you won't get booked? Good question.
No, that will not really affect it on booking standpoint, if that makes sense, because we understand that. Yeah, we understand things in life come first. So with it being a valid reason and you explained what the hours were, it's completely understandable. We'll work with you. So no stress on that one.
Exactly. So the main thing that with that situation, I don't expect people to, oh, the match just finished, got a promo. That's not reasonable, and that's not realistic. The main point of the rule is if you're booked and you catch yourself with a free moment to just kind of watch your match and be able to say something and a promo, something that's kind of meaningful and helps carry things along, by all means. It's not a, oh, I need it right here, right now, or you're not going to be booked type situation. We try and be reasonable, but the point of the rule is, say you got booked, and then 3 weeks later you still haven't said anything about the match at all, and kind of just are portraying that it doesn't exist. That's what that's there for. It's to help combat that kind of conduct. But really, really good question there from Jada. Really good question. Is there any questions or concerns regarding the rules? Possibly. I am all ears. Shoot away. Also, welcome in, Adam. If you'd like to join the voice panel and you're no longer handling the situation that you were telling me that you were handling, feel free to slide into the general voice channel in the Britannia server, and I will get you here in the voice. That is up to you. If you do not wish to, that's perfectly fine.
Yep. Yeah.
So, also, if you have any questions for any of the directors, we all are still floating and circling here. So, technical wrestling aspects, by all means, we, as Pro Wrestling Britannia, we are a company that really appreciates and likes to specialize in that smash mouth, hard hitting technical wrestling aspect that made the British wrestling scene what it is today. So that is more than welcome as well as all other styles of pro wrestling. So if you have specific moves that are mainly limb targeting for your moveset, and it all makes sense, that is well fine dandy. Edward Jackson has rolled over from the grave. What is up, Edward? So, not much. For those of you who are just... If Soul Siphon and Poison Mist fit your character, then we'll talk, and we can work that out. Also, that is well fine and dandy. We have health insurance. But, toward Jade, of course. But, for those of you who are just now joining us, allow for me to catch you up to speed. Adam White last night, and it was also re-aired at the beginning of this broadcast, announced that after IWF Tribute to the Troops, that he is handing over the ownership of IWF to Pro Wrestling Britannia. In that move, at that time, Pro Wrestling Britannia will simply add IWF into its existing program and style, where championships will be unified in accordance. We'll go back over that as we get closer to the event. But currently on screen is the rules for Britannia, meaning, and I want to make sure that this is crystallized and clear, we will need all, and when I say all, I mean all. If you think it does not apply to you, it does. We will need all IWF talent to make sure that you are in accordance with this rule set, and we are going to begin accepting uploads for the transition and people sending over their call starting tomorrow morning. I want to make sure that everybody has enough time to be able to get everything that they need, and I also want to make sure that everyone has enough time to get their questions answered, concerns voiced, and welcome. I also want to put this out anonymously. If it does not apply to you, don't worry about it. If it does apply to you, or you feel it applies to you, please take it to heart. I personally, as the person behind Pro Wrestling Britannia, behind Christian Sano, behind Levi Yeager, have no ill will toward anyone who thinks that I have ill will towards them. I've moved on in life, and if you feel like it applies to you and you would like to talk it out, you know where to find me, you know how to get a hold of me. I'm not a hard person to find. So with that in mind, if anyone feels some type of way or needs to speak with me privately, you're more than welcome to. I'm everywhere. But that is going to finish up the rules and regulations section of this here. I will be going through and adding the rules channel into the IWF server at some point, just to make it readily accessible for everyone to help with the transition and getting things together. But again, for the upcoming events and plans for IWF, you've got Coup de Grace Night 1 and 2, Tribute to the Troops, and then the merger. For Britannia, you have Genesis. You have maybe an addition of Renegades, and then the merger. Genesis, we're looking to try and get it out by next weekend if we're lucky. We've run into a lot of editing setbacks, which has drug it on for as long as it has. But one thing that Britannia, that we try and do, is have consistency. We want to be consistent. We want to make sure that we're putting things out at least weekly, once a week. so that way people can see their characters showcased. We can carry on storylines. If people have a place where they know that they can come, enjoy the content, and have some fun and be themselves. That's all we really want at the end of the day. But I am at this point, before opening the floor to everyone, I'm going to open the floor to any Pro Wrestling Britannia director. If you have concerns that you would like to voice as members of the Britannia directors, or as even members of IWF's management staff that currently exists, the floor is open to you first to ask your questions, and then I will turn to the floor for everyone who is here.
Well, that's a good one. I don't think I even thought about preparing any questions on this one from that standpoint. Here's a question to start with, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
With the merger coming and completed, will there be like a fresh new atmosphere when it comes to arena style?
So yes, actually, in the past week, since we got the news of the merger and that becoming a reality, I did start on prep work. So with that, that is what the new brand logos and the redesigns were for. I found ways of incorporating a couple new things LED-wise into the arena that we're going to take advantage of moving forward. So, arenas have been refreshed, brand new feels. Each one of them feels different than the other. And we're going to get a new look and atmosphere when it comes to the two brands that exist within Britannia. So, good question there, Mr. Popo/Anderson. I know no director questions from the Director of Commerce and Culture. And I'm sure Mr. Folo, he has gone on to take care of a few things. Do you have any additional questions?
I do not.
Alright. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and open the floor to everyone who is viewing. If there are any concerns that you feel that you are comfortable enough voicing publicly, please use the stream chat and let me know of any questions you would have. In the case of Jada, you know how to send in your questions. If it's something that you do not feel comfortable publicly asking, or it's something that's a little personal, feel free to message me personally, and I will make sure your question gets asked or answered. As the last thing I want is for someone to not get their question answered. Also, I see you typing in IWF's general chat, Jada. As the feed caught up. Oh, glad. Was that meant to come to me personally? Oh, jeez. I'm glad I caught that. But this is the time. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I want to be an open book. Because, like I said at the beginning of this conversation to start and get the ball rolling on was not an easy one from my standpoint at all. I know my directors, all four of them, have been stressed out of their minds trying to figure out how we can be respectful and still get things done. Jada's questions are only revolving around the transitions with Millie and Jada. Okay. I will get with you, and we will get those answered. But, again, I'm going to sound the alarm one last time. Is there any questions, comments, concerns, or emotional outbursts that anyone would like to get out now, prior to everything? Again, if you feel like you would like to message personally regarding that, be my guest. Jada Rose has one final question. That was not what I was expecting. Do you believe in Joe Hendry? Yes, I believe in Joe Hendry. I believed in Joe Hendry before he actually made it to American wrestling. That man is a freaking legend. He is not only legendary, he is prestigious. That man can wrestle and he can sing. Some people say I can't sing. It's debatable. Who knows what's gonna happen? Alright. We have crossed over the hour threshold about 5 minutes ago. I figured this was going to be a longer thing, and I wanted to do it justice. So, at this time, I am going to go ahead and close off the stream. Again, if you have any questions that you think of later on, or there may not be somebody who is in the IWF server or in the Britannia server who knew what was going on. If they have questions or if you see it, please direct them to this stream. That way it's a centralized place. Questions that already have been answered and asked can be shown and showcased, and we can make this as easy as we can realistically be. But in typical Britannia fashion, he's been James Anderson. The other individual here in the voice channel with us has been Jeremiah. The director in the chat has been Folo. I have been your executive director, Levi Yeager, aka Christian Sano, aka Christian Connors. That name I swear I hate. And we say goodnight from the live stream. And again, feel free to reach out with any questions. Have a good night, everyone.